For joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make a project I'm doing with my workshop tonight. It's actually an old project I did probably 5 years ago, but the hostess was really excited about it and requested this. So I have a 5 by 8 inch piece of soft suede cardstock, and I've scored it here at the 1 inch line. Now I have a 5 by 7 piece of Bashful Blue cardstock, and I'm just going to line that right on top of my soft suede, and I'm going to fold my piece over here, and now I've got myself a little booklet. Okay, and next step I'm going to do is I'm going to just put on my Night of Navy cardstock, and on top of my Night of Navy, I'm kind of doing this backwards, but it's for your benefit, I've got my Whisper White cardstock. My Whisper White is 3 by 4, my Night of Navy is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I have a 3 by 1.5 inch just strip of DSP that has the Bashful Blue and the soft suede in it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp myself a hippo, and I'm going to do that in the Bashful Blue. And this is done using the Look Who's Turning stamp set. So I'm going to put him here. And then I'm going to do some masking. So I'm going to take my cutout. I stamped my hippo on a piece of scrap paper, and then I cut it out. And what I'm going to do now is I've got my little octopus, and I'm going to stamp him in, I'll do him in Night of Navy. So I'll just ink him up, and I'll stick this down. You can see there that, well, I'll see when you pull it away. And now I've got my ostrich here, which is done in the soft suede ink. And I'm going to leave my hippo there, and I'm just going to stick him down. And then when I lift it up, you can see that everything is kind of masked and it looks like it's layered. So I've got that to start, and that's just my stamped portion of the workshop project. And now what I'm going to do is, let's do this first. I've got my circle, it's the clear Big Shot die, done in the Bashful Blue, and then I punched out using by hand the 1 inch circle punch here. And then what I'm going to do is just punch a hole in here. Hopefully as centered as I can get it. And I've got myself a chocolate chip brad. So I've got that, and this is just for appearance. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And I'm going to take this big scallop, again using the Big Shot. I've scored it in half, and I have adhesive on this half. So this is going to be my, I call it a mock closure. We're just going to use Velcro to actually close it, but we want it to look like this is what's closing it in that button. So I'm going to fold that down. And you can see here that it's on the back. And then I'm going to take my Bashful Blue cardstock and line that up on my soft suede scallop. So the chocolate chip brad. And I did it in that order so my brad back doesn't show through. It's not the end of the world if your brad back shows through, but I like to not have it show through. And then I'll just give that a crease. There we go. And you can see here now, I forgot to pull it out with me, but I'm going to have a piece of Velcro here and here, so it actually will close this down. And now the last step of this project is actually putting together the envelopes. So Stampin' Up! Sells these fabulous clear envelopes, and I'm going to use 5 for this book. And what I do is you just take the sticky part off, and normally you can mail these envelopes, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack all 5 envelopes on top of each other. And it's kind of a cheater method by having the adhesive already on here. It's going to hold those together, as I said, to make 5 of these. And this just makes a really cute, like, throw in your purse, check out my kids kind of brag book, or something you could mail to like a long distance relative, or a thank you if you were to go on a trip with somebody and you wanted to just give them some photos. Or I'm going to make one for my son who loves looking at photos, and just call it his own book. So I've got my clear envelopes. I want these to fit in here, so I might have to trim, and I'm just going to do that by hand, my stack of clear envelopes here. So I just trimmed off, and again, I mean, it's totally random. It doesn't really matter how well I do that. And then I'm just going to take off my adhesive again on here, and I just put on some adhesive on the back of those envelopes. I'm going to line it up so it's nice and straight at that end, and I'm fitting in the curve at this end. So I'm going to push these down, and now when I close my book, that's going to stay closed, And then I'm just going to fold my cover back so it wants to open there. So my book is naturally going to open. You can see my brag book pages. And then just to fancy it up, I don't need to. I mean, this is stuck, it's holding. But just to fancy it up just a little bit, I'm just going to use my crocodile and I'm going to reach that in as far as it'll go. And do that on both sides. And then I'm going to just thread some ribbon through the hole here. And just tie myself a knot just to add a little bit of dimension to the project. Although you probably don't want too much dimension if you're going to throw it in your purse. And then the last option here, what we're going to do at the workshop is I've got a scallop in the native navy, and they can stamp family or love or sweet pea, kind of depending on the purpose of the book, because a lot of these ladies have babies, and so it'll be a cute little baby keepsake or album to share with somebody. So I'll cut my ribbon ends off, and that, again with the Velcro, with our little greeting down here, is the little brag book. Hope you like it.